Hello, my Teaserking family. How is everybody today? Well. Another interesting day in the pros for us as we basically go 10-1 yesterday. The loser was Baltimore. There's Lamar. This is why we hate Lamar. We don't play Lamar. The Ravens defense sucks. Did they blitz Winston? Winston lit him up. Oh, okay. Yeah, just a second. Okay. So let's go through our pros and then we'll look ahead at college. Quite the day. Where's my pen? Really? No, I have a pen around here somewhere. All right, let's run through it. Another week where we run the table. It's just amazing. I scare myself sometimes. All right, so Thursday night, LA 30, Minnesota 20. I have over 41, a W. Philadelphia Cincy, I have over 41, 37-17. Again, Cincy's an over team, so you're going to get points from Joe Burrow, and they're not gonna play too much defense. I had 27-24 Cincinnati winning. Philly wins 30-17. The loser of the day, Cleveland 29, Baltimore 24. I would have locked the game over except for Cleveland starting Winston, who basically hasn't played in a few years. He's basically not good. I got a 26 defense with Baltimore, but I got Cleveland that's not going to score for me. I know Baltimore is going to score, and I'm laying 2.5, and I wonder why it went down to 7. I wonder how honest this game was. Just some of the way the defense played, it looked pathetic. I had Baltimore winning 31-13. Cleveland wins 29-24. I would have played the over if I knew that Baltimore was going to lay down and Winston was going to look the way he looked. This is every game with Baltimore is an easy over. So this goes to 53, and the total was 44. I mean, this was a joke. When I first saw the score, I was excited. I go, oh, I hit the over. And then I realized, no, I hit Baltimore. Baltimore couldn't beat them. What the fuck? This was obviously a fixed game. There's no question in my mind that they didn't even blitz Watson. It was Winston. What a joke. Then we've got Detroit 52-14. I do have Detroit minus at the time 10.5. They blow them out 52-14, and I had them 37-10. So I was right on board. Next winner. Wow, I hit the score. I had Arizona 28, Miami 27. That was the score. I played Arizona plus 10.5. Another winner. So I've hit Minnesota over, Cincy Philly over, Baltimore I lose, Detroit I win, Arizona and 10.5. Another winner. New England beats the Jets. Again, I didn't play this game because I said that the Jets with the new coach and the new quarterback, they're all fucked up. Yeah, they have Aaron Rodgers. But again, you get screwed because Drake May gets hurt early in the game, and now it's Brissett. Well, with Brissett, I probably play the Jets or New England. But with May, he sucks. Now, I didn't play the game, so no loser there. Atlanta 31-26. I got Tampa winning 24-21. Tampa's the dog wins and the over wins. I didn't play the game. Hard to figure out with all the injured receivers, but as I said, they're NFL receivers, so the backups did fine. Green Bay 30-27. I have Green Bay winning 35-20. And in this game, Love gets hurt again. That's twice he's gotten hurt. My play was over 49, so it was over 43. We get a 57. That was a lock. We win. So the locks, we lose the Baltimore lock. I have Detroit as a lock before the spread came out. I thought it was going to be 8 or something. It was too high to lock it. I do lock Green Bay, Jacksonville. So I'm 1-1 of my locks. But I have Green Bay over because they're always over. Jacksonville, no defense, and that's exactly what you had. Houston over Indy. I have Houston 27-24. They win 23-20. They beat a lot of bad teams. I don't play the game. I had over marks, which would have been over 40, which would have won, but you can't trust either of these teams. And Richardson apparently quit. He basically said, "I'm too tired. Bring in the backup," and he takes himself out of the game because he was tired. This is the problem when all these idiots run around and run into the end zone cheering like they've never, made a catch before. So he quits. This is interesting what'll happen to him. I've never heard this before. San Diego, I have San Diego 17-3. They win 26-8. Not too bad. I actually play the game under 41, so under 47. It's a 34. So that was an easy one because New Orleans has Rattler. They're not going to score, and they didn't, 26-8. So that was an underplay. Then I got Buffalo, Seattle. I got Buffalo winning 31-28. Well, they won 31, but Seattle, where was their offense with 10? Geno Smith. I played the game over. It was 45. I go over 39. It's a 41. I had a 41 earlier. I bet it twice. And here, this was a 39. So this was even easier. I stayed away from Buffalo. Seattle at home. Terrible coach. Geno Smith's terrible. How do you get 10 points on Buffalo at home? Really? Lock number 3, Denver minus 3.5 at the time. I locked it. I have 27-0. Denver, they win 28-14. They score with like 5 seconds left to fuck the under in a regular bet. This is why we do teasers. Carolina scored with like 5 seconds left. Why are they down? They're down 28-7. Anyway, so my lock was Denver minus 3.5. That's the second lock, winning 28-14. I also played it under, I think with Arizona, under 47.5 in that one. So I hit it. I had it locked and in another teaser, and then I hit the under. So I had them in 3 teasers. They all win. Kansas City, they're the best, 27-13, and they win 27-20, but it was 27-13. Mahomes, what can I say? I'm laying 2.5. Beautiful play. Another winner. Oakland with the 26 defense. It's really strange. My fourth lock, I got Washington plus 7 and mine and plus 5. As soon as Daniels was playing, the line went to Washington -1, but then the line went back to Chicago -1, and I took another play. So I have Washington twice, once plus 5, once plus 7. Never worried. They should have won easy. The refs were horrible in this game. The refs were very crooked. Illegal lineman downfield. Really? You're calling that on a play to the other side of the field? Washington wins 18-15. Again, Washington getting 7 was a joke. Daniels looks so much better than Caleb. It's funny. Dallas, Frisco, I don't play it. I had Frisco 17-13. Frisco wins 30-24, but I don't play it. Too many injuries. I don't know what's going on. And tonight, the Giants and Pitt. That's your free play is Pitt even plus a half. I got the Giants as a 21 defense, Pitt as a 14 defense. And with Russell Wilson against Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson will light it up. I feel pretty comfortable. And I'm really betting the Pitt defense with Russell Wilson. The over-under at 36.5 is a little bit too low. If it was in the 40s, the lock would have been under instead of Pittsburgh. So if we add it up, we have Minnie over, Philly over. We lose Baltimore, so 2-1. Detroit 3-1. Arizona 4-1. Green Bay over 5-1. San Diego under 6-1. Buffalo over 7-1. Denver lock 8-1. Kansas City 9-1. Washington another lock 10-1. 10-0 last week, 10-1 this week, and we got Pittsburgh as the free play tonight. Third, I got 24-3 Pittsburgh. I just hope it's somewhere there. Just if Pitt can get 20, it's all over with their defense. TJ Watt. You're really betting TJ Watt here. The Giants are an under team and 21 defense, but Pitt's 14 defense. I don't see Daniel Jones doing shit, but I got Russell Wilson instead of Fields, so I'm expecting to get some points with him. So again, 10-1, 3-1 on the locks. We had Detroit lock, but we didn't lock it. We have Baltimore losing as a lock. We got Green Bay over winning. We've got Denver winning. We got Washington winning. 3-1 on the locks, and one more lock. Pittsburgh tonight, which I gave with Washington yesterday. I added Washington as a lock. You saw it. It's on tape. And it's with Pittsburgh even, which is the free play anyway. So that's what we have. Hurts runs in a bunch for Philly against Burrow. Burrow only 17. So maybe Philly's defense is finally playing. Baltimore, Cleveland. Baltimore's an over team. They can't stop Winston. Who the hell are they going to stop? Burrow lit them up. Look for Pittsburgh. I don't know if Pittsburgh will, what'll happen there, but it's probably an over game, even though with Pitt's defense. Lamar looks like shit. This is the problem with Lamar. An easy win here. He plays terrible and they lose. And every time he throws the ball, it's like a shot put. This is a joke. I blame Harbaugh. Where's the blitz? You give up 29 points to Winston. Are you fucking kidding me? Detroit looks really good, 52-14 over a terrible Tennessee team with Mason Rudolph. Arizona, Miami again has no defense. And Arizona, live dog here. Also, the over was good. It was either or. I took Arizona. New England beats the Jets without Drake May, with whatchamacallit, whatever. Rodgers, I don't know, 25-22. They blew the lead. Brissett, that's who it was. What are you going to do? They're in flux with the coach gone and the offensive coordinator gone, and it's really hard to bet a team like that. I don't know what they're doing. Atlanta, Tampa shows some offense even without the receivers. They get 26. Atlanta 31 with Kirk Cousins. So that's the play I liked, was the over in the game. But again, I didn't know what I was going to get from Tampa, and I still got points. Hey, Luke. Brick Summit really didn't do anything for the pre of gold. It's still going. It did a lot because they got rid of SWIFT, right? So they went to this other Russian payment system. So all these countries are off SWIFT. The boat's sinking, right? It's just, you got to just let it sink. Right. So you're on the Titanic and you go, I don't know. Are we really going to sink as the water pours in the boat? It's fine. Gold was up today. It's 27.48 or something. It'll go. Just, we weren't expecting it to go to 3,000 at the summit this week. Soon, I think it will go. It's just they're buying it hand over fist, and who knows what they could and couldn't say out of the summit. In other words, wink, wink, we're going gold back, but they can't really say it. They don't want to piss off the CIA and I'll get killed. I'm surprised they were allowed to live after the summit. So that's what I have. I'm not worried about it. I'm finally working. That's why I'm on late. And I'll be running to the gold stores early and often. Well, it's coming. I mean, we're up 2750, right? Come on, Luke, 2750 on our way to 3,500, 5,000 to 10,000. I mean, what do you think's happening to the dollar now? We got the debt. We have nobody buying our treasuries. We have 36 trillion in debt, and we have all this money coming home from the nobody's on the oil thing anymore. It's coming. It's coming. Give it time. It's going in the right direction. What am I doing for work? I am a senior financial analyst at Champion Spark Plugs, who are owned by Tenneco. So I interviewed Thursday. I got the job 5 minutes after the interview. It was a hectic weekend getting this I-9 and filling out this application so I could start on Monday. And I'm not sure why I started on Monday, because I didn't have my computer, which I knew I wouldn't. And I have my, so I went to orientation and I met my boss and I sat there and twirled my thumbs and looked at football, because it was like, well, I can't do anything. I don't have a computer. So he taught me what he wants, and I'm like, okay, fine. And the pay's good. And that was it. It was funny at Social Security now. They lowered everything, so now I can make 22,320 a year and not be penalized. What the fuck? It was 30,000 last year. Then it was 25. If you go Google it, it's 25. Now it's 22,320. What the fuck? But I think I'll make about that much, because there's not enough pays left. It's just November, December. I do get paid weekly, which is good. And the good thing is I still get my Social Security payments, because I'll be under that 22,320. So I get 2 more Social Securities plus my paychecks. We'll be buying some gold. No, not from work. Thank you, Luke. No, it's not from home. It's in the office. Well, it's supposed to be in the office 3 days and remote 2, but at this point, I don't see that. I think I'll be in the office maybe 4 days, because I don't know enough to work from home. I'd have to ask people and make sure I'm all set up, which I'm not. So I'll go in. It's not far. It's about 15 minutes away, and nice office, brand new, modern. And my hours. I said, when do you want? He says, well, I got some guys coming in at 7, some guys coming in at 8. So it's like, well, you can work. It's 40 hours. There's no overtime, because it'd be like $85 an hour overtime. So no overtime. So it's 40 hours. I don't know how he's getting 8 to 5. In my book, I'll eat lunch at my desk and it'll be 8 to 4. I'll probably leave at 4:30, but 8 to 4:30 is good, or 7:30 to 4 would be good. I'm actually starting as a contractor, because they wanted to hire me so quickly. They couldn't hire me as an employee that quickly. It takes, probably a month. So it would be too quickly. So they brought me in as contract to get me working, and then they'll convert me. Anyway, so I'll work from home a couple of days, which is good. And it just takes that. It's a short drive. It's not a big deal. And then I think what I did, like today, I had to go to Social Security and confirm I have 2 pays left on Social Security, and I had to confirm the money. So they said, no, you can make 22.3, and I'll probably make a little bit less than that, because there's not a lot of pays. I think there's 9 pays left. And for what I'll make, I won't get to 20. I'll get to about 20, but I won't get to 22. which means then I get to keep my 2 more Social Securities. Next year, though, they raised the age to 67 now. So it keeps defaulting, right? It was 59 and it was 62 and it was 65 and now it's 67. There's the retirement age means you can make as much as I can make 500 grand and still get Social Security, and you don't have to pay tax on it. But since they're defaulting because they don't have any, it keeps going higher and higher. 67, and then it'll go to 70, and then I'll never be able to just work and get the Social Security, but there won't be Social Security much longer. Anyway, but I just went to Italy so I can pay for that. I do have Christmas off, so I'll see if I can meet Daria in Serbia Christmas. Hopefully the mother by then will, want to be with them for Christmas. So we will see. Otherwise, I don't know, go to Vegas or something for Christmas. Or we'll go to Capitol Grove for Christmas. All right. Let's see. Where was I? So Green Bay, Jacksonville's pretty bad. Weak defense. Again, Love gets hurt in the third quarter, but they do light him up for 57 points. I'm over 43. These over-unders in the 40s are a joke, as Green Bay, Baltimore, I mean, they're all going to go over. They all got good offenses, and the defenses don't even try. Watching the tape on the Baltimore game, they didn't even try. They just let the guy go in. Derrick Henry, nobody wants to tackle. And I don't know what I'm watching. It ain't pro football. Indy, Houston, we got Richardson quitting because he gets tired, a poor baby. What is that? This is a guy that doesn't want to play. He doesn't like football. He taps out. Fuck him. I need a quarterback I can count on. As I said, another wasted pick. Caleb wasted. Richardson wasted. And then you got Lamar wasted. And then here you got you'd rather have Flacco. The real deal is Daniels and Nix and Penix, as we know. New Orleans, San Diego. New Orleans starting Rattler for some reason. He's terrible. They got 26-8. I love how they go for 2. Like, oh yeah, that don't matter. Let's go for 2. See, that screws up the analytics because they go for 2 when it doesn't matter, and they get it, and then it goes, oh look, it's still a higher percentage if you go for 2. San Diego with the tight defense. Herbert's okay. Some guy put him in a WWF leg hold yesterday. One of the defensive ends on New Orleans is wrapping he's got a high ankle sprain. They're wrapping it up. I mean, it was crazy. So anyway, San Diego just puts you to sleep. Great defense. Buffalo, Seattle, Allen, Geno Smith sucks. The coach on Seattle needs to get fired. He doesn't know what he's doing. This is pathetic. Metcalf was out, but the other 2 receivers. I'm looking at Tampa without any receivers putting up points. Seattle still has the 2, Smith Najiba, who I never thought was any good, and Lockett, who was very good, but Metcalf was out, but still 31-10. Carolina, Denver, Carolina, 35 defense. Look, that's why I locked it. I was only laying 3.5 at the time. And I knew Denver, Bo Nix is starting to get it, and their defense is killer. I'm surprised Carolina got 4 points. Plus, I have Bryce Young. So I knew that they were, with this defense, I knew that Denver was going to beat them, and it was only 3.5. That's why the lock. KC, Oakland, it's Mahomes against Minshew. Mahomes puts up 27, and Oakland's defense is 26. So Oakland's defense is not the same. This is why I do my stats. Because you think of whatever, that guy and Crosby, but yet he doesn't. There's still a 26 defense. KC's got a very good defense, a 17. With Spagnuolo, they have very good defenses. So KC, 2.5 with Mahomes. Thank you very much. And then Chicago, Washington, it was waiting for Daniels when he played. I mean, this is a joke. They scored 2 touchdowns that were called back. Washington. It was pathetic refereeing. The guy catches the ball in the end zone, comes down okay, and then the guy, when he's on the ground, takes it away, and they call it incomplete. And you're like, huh? Then they throw another touchdown on a swing pass. The guy runs all the way, and they call an offensive lineman downfield. It was like, are you fucking kidding me? And the guy was in the middle. Didn't matter. The pass was to the end. I mean, it's got to be, if it affects the play, you call holding or that, not the plays other. I lock it because there's no way the Bears should be favored on the road. And Caleb did nothing. He threw for 100 yards. They had some running, and they have a really good defense, Chicago. Washington also has a very good defense. So Daniels made the difference, and that Hail Mary at the end, I loved it. I didn't need it, but I loved it. Dallas, Frisco. Dallas is terrible. Jack, 2 more picks. Purdy threw for a lot of yards without a receiver, although I think Deebo Samuel played. Here, I think he's not playing. He played, and the tight end played, Kittle. So Frisco wins 30-24. Dallas's coaching is just horrible. McCarthy's just terrible. And they got a 28 defense, and they gave up 30 to the Niners. What can you say? So that's what's going on yesterday. So 10-0 and 10-1 is 21-1. On fire. Let's hope for 22-1. Again, I don't like to jinx myself, so I'm like, let's hope we get Pittsburgh in. And all they got to do is win. It's an even game in the teaser, and let's get the win. All right, let's look at college. I will call the games out. New Mexico. So Tuesday, we got 3 games Tuesday. Yeah, a lot of people are going to watch Tuesday night football. New Mexico State, the Z team against Florida International E. We got Florida International 7.5, 45. 267 yards for New Mexico State, Florida 284, Florida International. Lou Lafayette, Texas State, good game. Both A teams, Texas State 359. Sam Houston 10-46 to LTech. Sam Houston's an E team and LTech's an under team. Liberty against Jacksonville State, good game. Liberty's -1 after losing last week. They're at home. Jacksonville State's an over. Liberty's an A team. Kennesaw State, the Z team, who beat Liberty against Western Kentucky, an E team, is 24 points. Western Kentucky and a 50. Kennesaw State with the 31 defense. I have no idea. Thursday, Tulane, Charlotte. Tulane's an A team. Charlotte's a W. Tulane's laying 16-56. Friday, we got UConn 7-48 to Georgia State. Georgia State W. Team with the 31 defense. We got Florida Atlantic. No, we got South Florida 353 over Florida Atlantic. Both are E teams, roughly with 30 defenses. Boise 23-57 against San Diego State. San Diego State's an under team. They don't score. Fairly good defense. Boise's the over team. 26 defense. Saturday, NC State 10-47 to Stanford. Stanford's a W team. Stanford gets to fly across country to get North Carolina State, who's both teams are kind of shitty defensively. Miami of Florida 20-54 to Duke. Duke's a B team, very strong defense. Jesus Christ. 18 defense. Miami's an A team, 21 defense. VTech, 453 to Syracuse. VTech's a B. Syracuse is an over. We got Minnesota, 2.5, 45 to Illinois. Both teams are B team. This is weird. Illinois is a home dog. They did beat Michigan, so yeah. I mean, I don't buy this line. I have Illinois favored. That's what I think it should be. Ohio State 447 to Penn State. They're both A teams. Quarterback for Penn State's questionable. Got hurt last week. This is usually Ohio State wins. If it's at Ohio, they win a lot. If it's at Penn State, they win by a field goal. Northwestern 1.5, 47 to Purdue. Purdue's basically a Z team. Northwestern's an under 38 defense for Purdue. Oof. Buffalo 148 to Akron, our Z team, who beat Eastern Michigan. Unbelievable. So Buffalo's a 1 and 48 here. Toledo Eastern, Toledo 752 to Eastern Michigan. We can get our revenge by taking Toledo here. Old Mississippi against Arkansas. Old Miss is 6-55. Arkansas is an A team. Old Mississippi's an A team. Arkansas put up a ton of yards last week. I think they killed Old Mississippi State. This is a good game here. I think Arkansas live dog at home against Old Miss. Army and the Air Force. Army 23-41. Air Force is a Z team with a 27 defense, no offense, no quarterback. Army's an A team with a 12 defense. Go Army, beat Navy in this one. Memphis 761 to UTSA. Memphis is an A team. UTSA is an over team, put up a lot of points last week with the 32 defense. Auburn against Mike Vandy, and Auburn is 748. No respect for my Vanderbilt. Again, I think they're a very live dog in this game. Old D 260 against App State. Old D's an E team, and App State's an over team with the 36 defense. Page 2. UAB 358 to Tulsa. They're both W teams, both with 38 defenses. UAB's terrible. Tulsa's not much better. North Car 250 against Florida State. Florida State's a W, and North Carolina's an over team. Iowa State, Texas Tech. Iowa State 14-57. Texas Tech's over with the 36 defense. Iowa State, A team, killer defense, 14. They can score Iowa State. They will score on Texas Tech. Their defense is terrible. Question is, will Texas Tech score back? Nebraska 741 over UCLA. UCLA is a W with the 29 defense. Nebraska played Ohio State very well. 18 defense. We'll see. Oregon 14-45 to Michigan. Oregon we know is an A team. Michigan is an under team without a quarterback. I was hoping a little smaller, and I would have locked Oregon. I don't know, 8.5 is a little bit much, but we'll see. Indiana 750 to MSU. MSU after the Michigan game, I don't know how they'll be. They're at home. Indiana's very strong. The backup quarterback came in, not a problem. The regular guy might be starting this week. He had a thumb injury. They did some surgery on it. I think he'll be ready to go. Indiana's an A team with a 14 defense. Michigan State's an under with a 21. They do have potential, but after losing to Michigan, I don't know what they're going to do. Georgia 16-52 to Florida. Florida's playing much better than the Miami game. A B team. Georgia's an A team. I have these guys right, but not week one. Give me about 4 weeks, and then the real team shows up. Now I would take Florida against Miami, but there's nothing we could do. Logically, it was a good bet, but here, I don't know. Georgia 16-52, Florida. We'll have to look at this. K-State 12-46 over Houston. K-State's an A team. Houston's an under team. UTEP 351, a battle of the Z teams to Middle Tennessee State. Both are Z teams, both with 30-some defenses. Marshall 11-47 over Lou Monroe. Lou Monroe's an under team. Marshall's an over team, 26 defense. Lou Monroe at 24. Arizona UCF. UCF 655. Arizona an E team with a 28 defense. Navy 12.5, 51 to Rice. Now Navy got killed by Notre Dame, but they're a much better team than what they showed. I don't know why they choked against Notre Dame. Navy 12.5, 51. Rice is an E team with a 25 defense. New Mexico 760 to Wyoming. Wyoming's the Z team. New Mexico very explosive. Although last week they didn't do anything. I don't know why. I'll have to watch that tape. But New Mexico 7-60. I don't know that this is an over. Maybe Wyoming scores a little, but we'll see. New Mexico not going to get 60 points. Coastal Carolina 4.5, 52 to Troy. Coastal Carolina is an over team, 32 defense. Troy a W, 28 defense. Old Mississippi State 17.5, 58 to UMass. UMass the Z team. Old Mississippi State's the over with the 36. This is such a small number. I mean, Old Mississippi State's starting to score. They switched to Martin Van Buren as their quarterback. Mass is terrible. This is a must-win game for Old Mississippi State to make bowl, lose bowl, whatever that means now. Arizona State 157 against Oak State. Oak State's an over. Arizona State's an even. Arizona State's a 23 defense. They got that runner Snookerby or whatever, and Oak State's got Ollie Gordon 30 defense. We'll see what we do with this one. Fresno State 13-48 over Hawaii. Hawaii's an under team with a 22 defense. Fresno State's an E team with the 25. Mikey Kane. Good game here. Louisville, Clemson, 2 A's going at each other. Clemson 11-61. Louisville 25 defense. Clemson 23. Been putting up 50 points a game since the Georgia game. Louisville can definitely score. I like Shaw, their quarterback. Iowa 342 against Wisconsin. Both are B teams. Wisconsin lost to Penn State by 14. Lost to Alabama by 100. Both have 19 defenses. Iowa's got the really good running back. Wisconsin, I don't know. They were moving, but they ran into Penn State. They didn't move anymore. USC 2.5, 55 to Washington at Washington. USC is the B team with a 22 defense. Washington's an under with a 19. They did beat Michigan at home, Washington. They're losing at Iowa, but at home they're a different animal. I'm shocked by this line that USC's favored in this game. I don't understand it. A&M 3.5, 46 to South Carr. A&M's an A team. Killed our LSU. Bobby must be crying. South Carolina's a B team with an 18 defense. I think South Carolina's very live here. A&M's okay at home, but get them on the road. South Alabama 661 to Georgia Southern. They're both over teams. Georgia Southern with 31 defense. I'm not sure why I got South Alabama must score a lot because they're at 24 defense. Usually not an over. But in this case, they score a ton. So over under 61. There's not as many games this week. I don't understand it. There's no 10 o'clock game this week. Is it the World Series maybe? Tennessee 15.5, 45 to Kentucky. Tennessee's the A team with the 11 defense, and their quarterback sucks. Kentucky's an under team. Their quarterback sucks. A 20 defense. Colorado State 1.5, 45 to Nevada. Colorado State's an even team with the 25 defense. Nevada with an E team with a 28 defense. Baylor 364 to TCU. Both teams are over. Both teams give up about 28 points a game. They both are explosive here. Pitt and SMU, both teams are A teams. SMU 759. Pitt's very good. I think this is a very live dog here or a very live over. And that's it. There's no 10 o'clock game. Where's my midnight game? So that's what we have. Another boatload. I'll have to be careful who I lock and who I give as free picks. My college was very good last week, but I didn't have the teasers. What do we got? Baseball game. Everybody leaving me. So that's it. So another huge week for pros. I'll start looking at next week for pros and bring in the new numbers as we go into week 9. So if you've got the game bet today and you're a little afraid or you can trap it. How do you trap it? Well, it's quite simple. We've already won the Washington Pitt part of it, right? So you can then go ahead and let's say you bet $500 Washington won, you got Pitt even. So you can then go ahead and take you can take the Giants +6 if you're feeling a little bit I got too much bet or I don't want to take the risk. So let's say you have 500 on the first teaser because it was a lock and with Washington and they've won. So now Pitt even, you win. So you bet the Giants maybe 200. And so now it's a $300 bet, which you're comfortable with. If you had all my picks, you're probably up a lot more than that this weekend. So you have that, and you simply go with the Giants +6. And then if Pitt wins, you win. They win by more than 6, you win 300. If the Giants keep it close, you could win both ways. That's the beauty of the trap. You can win with Pitt winning. Pitt wins by a field goal. You win with Pitt, you win with the Giants. And if the Giants upset them, you then lose the Pitt teaser for 5, and then you win back 300 on the Giants winning, and then so you only lose 200. So that's how you trap it. It's up to you. I mean, we've got them by the balls because Washington won. We got Pitt even now. I haven't trapped it. I'm just going to go with it. Too much defense. Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones sucks. There's nothing on the Giants that really scares me, and I can't imagine Pittsburgh at home not winning. You going to the game, Luke? You going to the Steeler game tonight? So that's what we have. So that's what I'm looking at. I'll start looking at the pros next week, tonight again. So I'll probably today I had to stop at Social Security, then swim, and then have dinner. So I was a little bit later. I think what I'll try to do is work like 7:30 to 4 or 4:30, run to the pool, and then have a dinner class, something like that. It just makes sense because it's at the same road that the gym's at. So it's at 5 Mile. I'm at 9 Mile, and the gym's on 5 Miles. So I might as well just drive to the gym right after work, get my workout in, and then come home. So that's what's going on. So anyway, now you get the understanding why I analyze like I do. 10-0 and 10-1. It's 20-1, and then based on tonight's game. So, and it's really becoming easier to lock and pick because we discovered Cincy's an over team. They've always been an A team. They're an over team. Baltimore's an over team. Tampa's an over team. So you're starting to realize that there's not a lot of defense being played, and if you have a decent quarterback at all these games are going over because they're basically in the 40s. I probably could have played the game over tonight, but I like Pitt better. I mean, it's only 36. Well, this is the NFL. I'd go over 30 before I'd go under 42 tonight, which is why I took Pitt instead of over under. So there you go. I had 5 locks. This is lock 5. I've won 3 and lost 1. The one I lost, Baltimore, I'm stunned with. I mean, it's just because Winston hadn't played, and I didn't think they'd score much. See, again, why did I lose? Because I looked at Deshaun Watson's stats, not Winston's. Winston didn't have any stats for me. Again, the new quarterback. Watson doesn't score. He doesn't try. He just takes his money. So with Watson out there, they're not going to score, and therefore they're an under team. But with Watson gone, it's a whole different thing. Like Radler, they can't score with Radler as long as Radler's the quarterback. As long as Richardson's the quarterback, there's a handful of quarterbacks that don't do shit, and you bet against them or you bet them under because they're not. Where are they going to get the points from? It's the Geno Smiths that you're like, what the fuck? I mean, they beat Atlanta like 38-20, and then they lose at home to Buffalo. Like, what are you kidding me? You don't score at home. How can you not score at home? So that's really where you get confused is the bad quarterback who's really inconsistent, like Geno Smith. But you're looking, Detroit Green Bay is an interesting game if Jordan Love plays. If Jordan Love doesn't play, then I'm fucked again by Jordan Love. He seems to be getting injured a lot. He hurt his knee now. This was a groin, I guess. So he doesn't take care of himself. He won't last long with all these. You need players that are out there, right? That's what you need. So we will see. Anyway, we'll take a look at next week. That was your college for next week. As we talked a little with Luke about gold and bricks. Bricks is stuff. They've already come out with this pay, which is like a PayPal for BRICS countries. So they don't have to take the dollar. So there they go, and they're de-dollarizing. And a whole bunch more countries want to join BRICS. It's just growing a little too fast for them. Then they all need gold because they all have to have a gold-backed currency to trade amongst each other because they know that the fiat currencies are worthless. So look for gold to keep going. It's so undervalued, just like silver. It's so undervalued. So we'll see it go. And off it goes. So yeah, gold's just going to go up and up and up. I think because of they're still doing derivatives, you see it drop a little bit because they can't, it goes up to 2,800, then they start doing derivatives because it's such a high number, and then 27, and then as they get out of the derivatives, then they start popping up again. So I don't know when the options expiration date is. It's usually the end of the month, but it might have already been last week. Anyway, yeah, BRICS, they all hate the Americans, and so they can't wait. As long as they feel protected by Russia and China, which they do, then they feel like, oh yeah, we can get on a gold-backed system. The U.S. won't kill us all. Hopefully we don't nuke anybody. Bunch of idiots. How the hell do I know, Luke? Soon. Probably November 6th, right after the election. I heard there was a bunch of things happening that's being for the banks that on November 6th, just in case Trump wins, there'll be a bunch of bank failures or something. So I didn't catch the whole story, but it's soon, very soon. The dollar could go out anytime. I mean, I am the professor, but I'm not going to make predictions that I can't back. Soon. I mean, we know the boat's sinking, right? So you're asking me when's the Titanic sinking, and the water is coming in the ship, and I'm going to say soon. You can see the water going in and the boat going down, and we're on the lifeboat. So all I can say is get out of the dollar, get into the lifeboats, and you're fine. And when it happens, it'll be soon. But I can't say next week, and then it doesn't happen, and then you'll yell at me and call me bad names and say you don't know what you're talking about. So I can't do that. I'm doing my best. Herman Munster. They have a Munster channel now, so I'm watching all the old ones. And Herman's such a crybaby. I love it. Then you see him on My Cousin Vinny as the judge, and you're like, why didn't he do it as Herman? It would have been perfect. So can you still collect? So this year I can. Next year I can't because they raised the retirement age up. So because I won't make 22.3 this year because I haven't really worked, um, then because I haven't worked it, I'll get paid for 2 months, but it won't be more than the 22.3. So I can I'll collect November, December's Social Security before it defaults and nobody gets anything. Um, so yes, I still can this year. Next year, no, but I don't care. I'll be making all kinds of money, so that'll be fine. Um, so unemployment doesn't play into it. It's only the paycheck. So I can't. There's not enough weeks left for me to go over 22.3. Otherwise, I would. It's a good paying job. So next year I'll get, and so this year's like a bonus. I get 2 more payments plus all my paychecks, and then I'm waiting on my mom's trust, which should come soon. I got a feeling it's here. The lawyer's not telling me because I told her, "Can you just tell me when you're mailing it out?" So of course she won't. Um, anyway, so I got a feeling that came, and that'll be nice too. That'll pay for the trip. So we'll see. I'll have to check on coming to a football game with you, Luke. Now that I'm working, maybe Thanksgiving weekend. Um, we will see. That's the other thing. I don't get paid for the holidays because I'm contract, so therefore um, that'll keep me under the limit. So that's fine. Yeah, well, it's not that I'm not. I can still get it. It's not that I can't get it, but if you're getting Social Security, you're limited to the amount of money you can make, and then you have to pay them back. So let's say I could get it, but I could only make 22,000. Well, I'm going to do that in 2 months next year. So therefore, I'd have to pay it back. So it's the problem is since I put in, it's not not a government handout. It's me putting my 7.65% in, employer matching it, and now you're saying I can't get it out. That's the problem. So that's okay. If I'm working, I don't need it. The reason I took it because I lost a job at Harley and then I wasn't able to get another one. This came out of the blue. They called me up when I was in Italy. Oh, we want to see you. And then I interviewed Thursday. I got the job 5 minutes after the interview. They called me. Okay, we want you. And it's crazy. Hey, Titus. Do I have a Zelle? What's a Zelle? A Zeal? The whole system is the same. Well, that's the whole point of that's exactly what I show you with this. This is all a Ponzi scheme. This has no value, and neither does this. These are not backed by gold. There is no value to this. This is what I tell you. That's why you buy gold, because that's the value. That's why money had value, as it was backed by gold. That's it. So that's that's why everybody's going to be flooding into gold, because most people don't understand that. Most people don't know they're getting made off and that the dollars they print are worthless anyway. So they talk about interest rates and unemployment and the stock market and this and that. It's all bullshit. It's all manipulated. It's all just it's a Ponzi scheme. You're getting fucked and you don't know it. And that's what I'm telling you is you're getting fucked and now you do know it. And the answer is gold and silver. And that's why they keep the price of gold and silver down, because if it really got to its normal price, gold about 25,000, silver probably about 3 or 4,000, you wouldn't need the government because you'd have it. Well, we wouldn't have been able to get it. This is what I keep telling us. We're very lucky is that we're able to get gold and silver at these cheap prices. And now that I'm back to work, I'm going to load up on more gold and silver. But it's very, very undervalued. But it's on purpose. It's to keep you poor so you can stay with the dollars and stay in the stock market. Do you have a Cash App? I need to send you some money. I have a Venmo or PayPal, but you can Venmo me. Just use my email. But I appreciate it, Titus. Yeah, those are the two options that I have: Venmo and PayPal. I hope you can work with. If you have a credit card, you can PayPal. You don't need to actually be a PayPaler. Just go in and pay for something, and then I guess it asks for you. I've never. I think it's just because I am a PayPaler. I just put it in, but I think you put in your credit card info as if you're buying something, and if you're at the site, it goes right to me, and otherwise you can email it right to me. I just don't trust Cash App. I don't trust Bitcoin. I don't trust all this digital crap. But I appreciate anything you can send me, Titus. What you think of the Steelers game tonight? I think the Steelers are going to win. I think they're going to win. They're going to win. They're going to win. Love the defense. Daniel Jones doesn't scare me. And then Russell Wilson looks like Russell Wilson. I'm sure he'll play well. The combination of the defense and Russell Wilson, I love when I got a really good defense like I had yesterday with San Diego and Denver. That was the thesis of it. I'm betting on T.J. Watt, and then hopefully Russell Wilson's playing. I think he'll play well. The Giants, they don't have a great defense. They got a 21 defense. Pittsburgh's got a 14. 21 defense isn't bad, not great. Something under 20 is, 17, 18, 16 is good. And Pittsburgh's a 14. So the Giants will be lucky to get past midfield. They'll put a lot of pressure on them, and they're very good at home, Pittsburgh. So I like to. That's our free play and our lock. I locked it with Washington when we heard Daniels was playing live. I did, okay, we're locking Washington with take the points with Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh was like the last lock left. And so I got Pittsburgh even. So it's a lock. I had a lock with Baltimore. How Baltimore lost, I don't fucking understand it, but we will see. Wasn't it kind of a little too unreal? Didn't it look a little fake that Winston lit up Baltimore? I know Baltimore doesn't have much of a defense, but you're getting lit up by Winston? Jeez, really? I think the game was fixed. Whatchamacallit missed a field goal? Really? Yeah, that happens one every 20 years. The defense looked like they weren't even tackling. They were just playing two-hand touch. So that's how I viewed it. I thought that game was totally fixed. The line went to 7 at the end, from 8.5 to 7, and then Cleveland wins. Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't fixed at all, was it? It looked fake at the end with that missed interception. I didn't see the missed interception. They didn't show it, but yeah, I mean, but even where was the pressure on Winston? They didn't blitz him. How can you not blitz Winston? He hasn't played in 5 years. You're not going to blitz him? Get him off his target? That's what I noticed. They didn't blitz him for some reason. But this is why I like betting Baltimore over, and I hate betting Baltimore to win. Every time, and it's against Cleveland. They burned me last year. All of a sudden, they can't play against Cleveland. I don't understand it. Well, as a Steeler fan, Pittsburgh's so much better than Baltimore. When you play, I mean, you'll pressure Lamar. He won't do anything. T.J. Watt's faster than Lamar. He's a terrible quarterback. Just like Caleb. Caleb, I don't know what he was doing yesterday. If you watch that game, Caleb zigzagging around in the pocket. I think he completed 4 passes, they said. They were saying he didn't hit a tight end, and he only completed 4, and none of them were good. The only time they scored was a running play. I don't remember their second touchdown. That was some bullshit too. That was a fake game too, because it was 12-0, and Washington got 2 touchdowns called back that were both touchdowns. So they should have been way up. And then here come the Bears. It's 12-0 because they kicked 4 field goals, and then it's 12-7, and then 13-12, and then 18-13, or something like that. What was it? It was 18-15. So they got the 2-pointer in that. Titus, I hit an 18 parlay for 18,000. Utah under, TCU over, Miami. Ole Miss under. I had Ole Miss under. Chargers under. Yep. Bengals over. Yep. Packers over. Lions. All of your picks. Thanks, TK. Well, I'll be happy to get it. Did you sign up for the pack did you sign up? I don't recall if you signed up or not, but yeah, I'll happily take it. So either Venmo me or just go to teaserking.com and PayPal me, whatever you'd like. I'll be happy to take my cut of that. But great, I'm very happy for you, Titus. 18,000, huge, good picking. Yeah, in the pros, I went 10-1 in the pros for you yesterday. You'd have made some money, but good. Yeah, the Lions were. The Lions, I couldn't believe they just blew them out. Yeah, Cincinnati over, Green Bay over. Those are Chargers under. Yep. TCU, Miami. Yeah, I had a Miami, Oregon teaser, and it was between those two and Ohio State. And I locked Ohio State. It was my only lock loser in college. And then I played an Oregon, Miami teaser, which won. And I'm like, if I would have locked Oregon, they wouldn't have covered. So it's weird how Ohio State didn't play. What the fuck was that all about against Nebraska? Indiana beats Nebraska 56-7, and Ohio State can only put up 21 points. Something smells to high heaven there. So yeah, Titus, Venmo me. The email's on the site, or you probably have my email you bought before. Or the other, but yeah, that's definitely appreciated. Thank you very much. I like making you money. That's what I like, making my boys money. Anyway, so we got a football game to watch. I am red hot right now. That's what I hate about these Monday night games, because I hit everything on Sunday, and now it's like, now we got to stress Monday, and then I'll check the game at 10 o'clock going, oh, what's the score? Because I don't watch it. It's on ESPN. I don't get. And it was funny. I did watch the Lion game about the first half, and I watched I watched the whole Washington-Cleveland game, and I wasn't nervous about it. And Daniels just came out, and he's so much better than Caleb. Oh my God. And Nix will be better than Caleb, and then Penix if they ever start fucking playing him. Cousins had a big day, so good for Atlanta, but we will see. Anyway, I got to do week 9. So the game plan is I'm up early, go to work, go to pool right after, and then come home, and I got to make chicken, and then go ahead and once I cook my meal, then do it. So depending on what I work tomorrow, once I'm there a while, I can 7:30 to 4:30, something like that. But I don't like taking an hour lunch. I got to go swimming. I got to teach class. I don't really want to take an hour lunch, and there's nothing to do for an hour. I guess I can do my football. That's always entertaining for me. So maybe I'll do that. I'll start doing that on my lunch. Otherwise, so look for gold to go through the roof. Turn that money into gold, Titus. Put about 10 grand of it into gold. That's the beauty of it there. And then you take money that doesn't have value for, buy gold with it. And then you'll make another double on it. So you'll convert 18 grand into 100 grand by buying gold. I had a friend where I was working before, and I was teaching him about gold. So I took him to the gold store here, and he comes in with a check for 100 grand. And this is just a warehouse worker. 100 grand. He bought 100,000 of gold, 55 ounces, I believe. I figured somewhere in the 50s. And then he came back with 50,000 in silver, because I told him, well, you need silver too. So you get another 50,000 of silver. I'm like, where the fuck are you getting all this money? It was unbelievable. I mean, it's not like he was managing. He was like in charge of the back room or something. I didn't think he made that kind of money, but he had 100 grand in gold. I haven't heard from him. I'm waiting for my tip there, because he bought it. It had to be 1,900 an ounce. It's 2,700. So he's made a nice killing. Anyway, so the key to the betting we talk about is the defense. That's why I locked Denver. I mean, I didn't look at it as Bo Nix. I don't look at it, it's like some of the guys, well, it's Bo Nix. He's a rookie quarterback. I looked at it as Carolina. Alabama could beat Carolina. I mean, so it's not that. It's Nix should have a big day against Carolina, because they got a 35 defense and they have Bryce Young. It was such an obvious. But that's what I'm looking at. Denver with a killer D. Denver's got a 14 defense. They are a very strong defensive team. Don't fuck with Denver. And I believe they're getting 9 points from Baltimore. I'll have to check that tonight, but that's a joke. Why? Baltimore's not going to do anything on Denver because of the defense. So Lamar against a weak defense is one thing, but you put up Lamar against Kansas City, he doesn't show up. You put him against this San Diego, he's not going to show up. Pittsburgh, he's not going to show up. So that's what you got to realize. So that's really the key. The good defense shuts the good offense, but when you got a good that's why I locked the TCU over. Okay, was a lock, because TCU was playing, I think, Baylor. No, they're playing Texas Tech, and they were both 35 defenses. So both teams are going to go up and down the field and not have a problem, which is what they did. But have they played Utah or a good defensive team, Kansas State, they're not going to run up and down the field. That's the key to it. So the good defense can stop the offense. So you bet. You look for they're playing the weak. That's why I tell you the 30 defenses, because that's what you want to bet against. When you get a good quarterback and he's got a 30 defense, he's going to light him up. You put him in against Georgia, and you see it time and time again. They don't normally light up Georgia or Alabama or Utah or Oregon. These really good defensive teams, they don't light up. So we will see. But good game this week. Or Ohio State, Penn State, low spread. Ohio State should win the game. Look for them to play much better. I mean, they killed Iowa, who's a very good team. Good running, though, which maybe goes into Ohio State's hands, but we'll take a look at that. And then Oregon, Michigan. I mean, I love Oregon. Now the spread's 14.5. It's a bit much, so I got to really rethink it. But again, the over-under is 45. Oregon, just such good play calling. Dylan Gabriel, he just finds a way to does a juke to the running back and then runs for a touchdown and untouched for 50 yards. He's so good at it. I think Michigan's in way over their head here. So they've lost to Texas. They should have lost to Michigan State. They lost to Illinois. They lost to Washington. So this is not a good Michigan team. And they're going to lose to Oregon. I mean, it's at Michigan. That doesn't really help them. They're going to be in big trouble. So I'm going to enjoy that, because that should have been played last year and they would have got their ass kicked. Anyway, I think that's it. Let's go watch the ball game. I need to rest. And again, www.teaserking.com. Titus, you can just, if you don't have PayPal, and hit that email. Otherwise, just go to Venmo and hit that email. It's on my Teaser King one. I've left it on here a couple times. But you can just go to Teaser King to the homepage, and there's my email, and then you can pay Venmo with it, or like I said, or just go to PayPal and use that email for that. So either way, but I appreciate it. I'm glad I made you a ton of money. Go Steelers. All right, Luke. Go gold, go Steelers. See, the Steelers smart enough to wear gold. That's why they're so good. Nobody's silver and gold. The Raiders were silver and black. The Niners were red and gold. The Steelers are black and gold. Wait a minute. All the gold teams tend to win Super Bowls. So I wonder why. All right. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. And we're going to have to adjust. The weekends will be the same. Friday night, the college class and the pro class, and Saturday morning, college, and Sunday morning, pros. That won't change. What I might start doing is including economics in those classes, because I start at 10, and especially this week, it's a real light college week, so I'll get through it in an hour. We still have time for that. And you can always talk about economics and gold anyway. It's not fine. Black and gold with a little silver put into it. Go Romans. Beat Navy. The Romans. The Roman Empire. I could see us doing this class at the Roman Empire. We're in 500 AD in Rome, and Luke's going, when are we going to collapse? And I'm like, well, it's going to be soon. When Alexander comes here with his troops, we'll be fucked up. And then we would just do a class on the gladiators. I'd be ranking the group. Okay, take Hector over Augustus. Lay the points. There's a lock there. Marcus Aurelius. I guess there's a gladiator too. What the fuck can they possibly do? They killed the kid and they killed the wife. So who the hell, and Marcus Aurelius is dead. Is it maybe the queen's kid is now in it? And I hate that idiot. I can't even watch the Joker because I hate that guy so much. And it was all wrong. This is not the way his character played in Rome Empire. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow, and we'll figure out the schedule. All right. Figure 5, 6 o'clock anyway, or maybe 6, 7 o'clock for our class. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Good luck tonight on Pittsburgh. www.teaserking.com. Get my email. Send me money. I'm happy to accept. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you.